Yes, you lovely people, if you're not already, make sure you give us a follow over on Spotify.
After the game at Lyon, because we beat them 3-0, and I think they were, obviously their fans were fuming.
Yeah.
And they tried to break down these stands.
They did, I remember.
And they tried to come on the pitch, and I thought, we're in trouble here.
Yeah.
And I just heard these bangs go off, and I thought, someone's got a shotgun. Or someone's got a grenade, I'm going to die. Because I've never heard it before. You don't hear it at, you don't hear it at Vicarage Road, do you? You don't hear bangs going off.
Hello everybody, I'm Ben Foster. Welcome to another episode of the Fozcast. As usual, I have got Rhino Legs Tom next to me. How are you, my mate?
Very good, mate. Really excited for this week. Really excited for this week.
It's a good pod today. Let me give you a few hints and tips about who we've got in the studio with us today. So one of the standout players in the Premier League this season. He scored 12 Premier League goals, including 2 against Man City just a few weeks ago, which is a ridiculous feat in itself. And surely is in line for his first England call-up.
And he made it in our team of the season.
He did. You did make it in our team of the season. It's Jarrod Bowen, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Right, mate, before we start, we've got a picture that we need to show you. 1 second. Here it is. Have a look at this.
I just knew that was coming.
Talk me through this picture, please, mate. So if you're watching on YouTube, guys, if you want to see this picture that we're talking about, head over to YouTube and watch this podcast, okay? Because on screen right now, we have got a picture of a young Jarrod Bowen. Please go and tell me about this little man in the picture, Jarrod.
The young bull. Hooligan. Milky Bar kids.
Yeah, there you go.
There. Yes, it's a bad picture. It is a bad picture.
So it's for the people that don't want to head over to YouTube, it is a picture of a young Jarrod Bowen. It looks like you were at a Hereford game.
Correct.
And I'll be completely honest, I said this to you a minute ago as well. The kid in this picture, it's obviously you. It does not look like somebody who could ever go on to be a proven Premier League goal scorer.
I can 100% agree with you on that.
You're getting better with age though, mate, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have your glow up soon, didn't you? So.
Okay, let's talk about this Man City game a couple of weeks ago, okay? So you've scored 2 goals. Please, can you try and explain or describe how you managed to do this? Because every time I've played against Man City, right, we've ended up losing 5 or 6 or 7-0. Without doubt, relentless they are, aren't they?
I think that's what they do. It's just, even when you're playing, you're just there, you know, they have all the ball, they've got everything, and you just hope you can hit them on the counter. And I think the 2 goals that I scored were pretty similar in terms of winning the ball back and then just playing the ball quickly over the top. Obviously, when they've got the ball, everyone's high. The defenders are quite high. So when we won the ball back, we knew there was space there. Yeah. But then it was about the keeper, Edison. He's off his line, him and Allison in the
rapid, aren't they?
Yeah, they're so quick. And he came out and I took it round him and he caught me a bit, but I thought, I'm not going down.
Oh, did he? Did he catch it?
I want to score, but I took it so wide. And it was just a case of, please don't miss an open goal. Do you know what I mean?
When you took it wide, because when you took it wide, I actually thought, I think he's too wide here.
Yeah.
I think he's too wide. Is it something in your head where you're thinking, I've got to kind of chip it a little bit. I've got to get a bit of height on it.
I think I knew I was falling over because of the way, like I said, how wide I was, and I wanted to hit it back that way. So I was kind of, all my weight was going this way. And to be fair, in the video, it looks so good because Laporte slides in, he misses it, and it goes into like the far side.
Perfect, isn't it?
But no, it was just, obviously 2 goals against. I've never scored against them before, so to get 2,
mate, they are scary at times, though, aren't they?
Because, like you said, relentless. It's just non-stop. It's just, they drain you. Do you know what I mean? They drain you on the pitch with the way they keep the ball, and you don't get a touch. And as soon as you get the ball back, they're on you. Do you know what I mean? You've got four round you in the space of seconds.
No, like I say, they do. They scare me, mate. They're like them, and to be fair, Liverpool are quite similar at times as well. Liverpool obviously don't keep the ball as well as them, but they're one team that when you play against them, you think, oh, this could be anything today.
100%.
Especially when you go in the lead as well, 2 up, and you like, I watched it at home and think they're sent over. No way is this over.
I feel that as well, though, because I know being 2-0 up, obviously we was buzzing, but you know that you're playing against Man City. You know there's going to be a reaction. You know, it's just, not saying that we knew we was going to concede, but we knew that they had chances in the first half. Do you know what I mean? And it was just a bit of a sucker blow, the second goal being an own goal.
Yeah.
But obviously then got the penalty save as well. So.
Yeah, big shout out to my boy Lucas Fabianski, by the way. I wanted to talk, can we go into this quickly? I wanted to talk about, so Lucas Fabianski, right, I love him, yeah, I do. I love him. I think he is every season, one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. He just goes about his business, yeah? He don't sing, dance, shout, whatever. He just does it. And he goes under the radar a little bit for me. But also, as number 2, we've got Alphonse Areola, yeah? Who, I've got to say, I've seen him up close and personally. He looks like an absolute specimen, incredible goalkeeper. That is a serious goalkeeping department, isn't it?
It's a headache, isn't it, for a manager?
Yeah.
You said Lucas, and like I said, every year goes about it, and he's quiet, and like I said, just makes saves week in, week out, and he's top guy as well. And then Fonzie coming in as well, and he's incredible again. Like the power, he's so tall, and the way he jumps is. You see him in the gym doing his jumps, and he is mad.
He's a specimen, isn't he?
To have those 2 keepers as to choose from, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got to say, when they signed Areola in the summer, I thought, that's a shame for Lucas, to be fair. That's a big shame because I don't want to see him lose his position. Yeah. But I think it just speaks volumes about how good Lucas is and how much trust the manager must have in him to go, no, mate, you're my number 1. You're going to keep playing. I know Areola's played in the Europa League games, but it speaks a lot about Lucas, doesn't it?
No, yeah, I think it does. Playing, I don't think he's missed a Premier League game. Yeah. And to be that number 1, and then to have Fonzie, who's been with the French national team as well consistently, and coming from PSG, and correct me if I'm wrong, has he been at Real Madrid before that as well?
He's been all over the place, yeah.
CV's unbelievable, but what a keeper as well. And for the manager, it's a headache for him that you probably don't want, but 2 great goalkeepers.
Yeah. So if you're a goalkeeper, if you're there, Fozzy, you're one of those goalkeepers. It's a battle for number 1. Obviously, Lucas has been number 1 in the Prem, but with the amount of games that West Ham played this season,
do you know how many games they've played this season? Because I've done my research on this.
It's 50. It was 52, but
55 games so far this season. You've got one more to come, obviously, 55. In the Premier League. Yeah.
So he's playing a few games, Areola.
Of course, yeah. Well, Europa alone, I think you've had 10, 11, 12 games in the Europa. Wow. Yeah.
7, 8, 9. Yeah, 12. Would it have been? With a group. And,
incredible
knockouts.
What's that like? As playing that many games in a season, how much has that taken a toll on West Ham this season, do you think?
Obviously, it's a long season. For me, answering that question, though, it's just playing games. I love it. Yeah. Like, being involved in all these competitions. And I think that's the main thing, progressing quite well in each competition that we've had. Europa League semi-final, FA Cup, we got to.
Yeah, you did well in every cup pretty much, didn't you?
Carabao as well.
Yeah.
So it's when you're, playing in these competitions and you're doing well, you just want to keep playing.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really care about how tired you are or whatever. Well, for me anyway, I just want to keep playing.
Yeah, you don't mind all the travel and stuff like that because everybody knows Europa's a bit sort of, you could be anywhere, can't you?
Yeah, no, obviously the travel's long, and with the hour difference, it's not massively, but finishing the games late and stuff. But I think that just comes with the territory of being in Europe, doesn't it? You just kind of accept that and go,
you're going to be away a bit.
Going to be away, yeah.
I think obviously I still speak to Craig Dawson quite a bit, and he's always glowing about the manager and how they run it and how things work and stuff. And he's always basically says the club is run so well. He gives us so much time off as well. He knows that if we've been away in Europe playing, he'll give us the day off the next day or maybe 2 days or anything like that. That's important, isn't it? You need time away as well. You can't just like be in for a warm down, for example, because you need that mental break as well.
That's massive, because I've noticed that with you, Fozzy, in the last couple of years. There's one thing travelling on a plane and stuff and going to work, but it's when you're getting back
the next day
into London or whatever at 1 a.m.
Not being every day seeing, obviously you see your teammates every day, but to have that bit of away time, not going in, and
that's the bit, isn't it?
Stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's important to have that kind of balance of training ground and then having your own time as well, just to switch off a little, even if it's just for a day.
And even when you are, and then like I say, if you've had a day or two off, then when you are back in training, you're like, actually, I want to do a bit today. I want to give it a good go, don't
unbelievable, don't you?
I know.
A couple of days, manager loves it.
Can we talk about the goal you scored against Fozzy at your place this season? So it was 1-0.
Yeah, away at West Ham.
It was a big game for you, wasn't it? Because you actually had a little bit of momentum. It was a big game. Didn't go your way. But let's talk about that goal.
Scumbag goals. Tell me your point of view of that, because this is, I know from mine, obviously, but I think this is the beauty of if you can get like a bit of interaction between a goalie and a striker who see it from completely different perspectives. It's like it's dead interesting to see.
Do you know what? I think at the time I was scoring a few and playing well, and I think people say when your luck's in, your luck's in. Yeah. And I've had shots this season that are deflected and keeper saved them, or it's gone wide, or you're just not quite fallen. And that one, I remember getting it I think Manu passed me the ball and I was running. I was about 20 yards out.
You had a bit of space. You found yourself in a bit of space, didn't you?
And I thought, I could shoot here. So I just I don't think I hit it that well. I think it was going here, if I'm right, to your left. And I hit it, and I thought, I don't fancy that. And then I've seen it took a deflection, and I've seen you go this way, and I've seen the ball go.
Oh, it's the worst.
For me, as an attacker, that's the best one.
When you know it's going in,
and you know you can't get up.
Yeah,
and get it. It was that was a scummy goal, but
it was a scummy goal.
It was proper,
honestly,
wasn't it?
It was a dagger in our heart because, like you said, it was a big game for us, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think West Ham played particularly well that game.
I think it was quite even. The game,
yeah,
as
it
well,
was.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a
chances for you
50-50
as
game.
well.
But like you say, I think when you looks in and when you looks out, they're the sort of things that happen
But
to
then
you.
5 minutes later, you tipped one onto the post and made a worldie save. So
Yeah, so talk me through this. So I remember the save, right? So I personally, it was a really good save for me because it was one of the saves where I didn't expect to make it because you took it so early. I kind of didn't think I had time to get down and get a finger on it. Yeah. But when I felt it touch my finger, I still thought, oh no, it's still gone in the back of the net because I just haven't got enough on it. And then I hear it hit the post and I am buzzing my tree off at this point here.
Yeah, no, I remember I got it. We kind of broke. It was quite late on. And I remember getting it and just coming inside, and I thought I need to shoot like quite quick. There's a lot of bodies coming around, and I thought if I hit it early, the keeper might not set. And I hit it, and I thought, oh, that's a good strike. And I've seen you get a finger to it, and I thought, I hope you haven't got a strong enough finger on this, so it goes kind of in the side net.
Yeah.
And I've seen it hit the post, and I was like, no, that was for 2 goals. I was.
Is that something you were? You know, like the taking the shot early. Is that something that strikers, you in particular, would work on a bit?
Yeah, I think it comes. You know, Kevin Nolan as well at the club as well. Obviously, he scored a lot of goals as well.
Player.
He's horrible to play against him.
Always says to me, one thing: take it early if you can. Secondly, don't look at the goal because the goal don't move.
True that.
And he's always on to me. Like if he'll look at a video and I might look up, and he goes, "Told you." And then I'll score. I scored one. I think it was the Man City one, the second one. I didn't look up.
Yeah.
And he went. We watched it after the game and he went, watch this, look at your head. And to be fair, my head didn't move. But
you didn't look up, that's the thing.
Because I knew, because he always says, obviously you know the goal doesn't move, but when you're in that, you almost, kind of know where you are, but not 100% if that makes sense. You almost want a little glance,
just something.
But then it probably does take your mind off it because you shoot, but you've kind of looked up and maybe you're not as set as you would be. But that taking it early, I think if you can take it as soon as possible, because obviously for yourself, for a keeper, you're trying to get set. So for the earlier we take it,
of course,
it's hard for you to get set in.
Well, I'm not only that, I'm actually looking for you to take a look. I'm trying to wait for you to look up and see where I am, because then I think, well, if he sees I'm covering that side of the goal more, he's going to try and put it over that side of the goal. Yeah. And I need that look, and that double kills me, especially when you take it quick as well. So like the Man City goal you said there, did it go through legs to start with?
It went through. It was Fernandinho. It was like a tiny gap, but then it was Edison went with his feet. But I think because he couldn't really see it. It wasn't early because I took a few touches, but I think because I took a few touches, he didn't kind of know when I was going to shoot.
That's it. That's the one.
And then the defender was covering, which is you see it so many times.
Through legs.
As a keeper, through legs when it's like the reverse.
I know.
And it went in.
Yeah, it was nice, mate. It was nice. Just finish off with the Man City talk. They've just announced, obviously, that Erling Haaland's going to be signing for them for next season. That's trouble, isn't it?
Big trouble. Big trouble. He is. I'm looking forward to seeing him play though in the Premier League. Obviously see what he's done at Dortmund and the goals he's scored, and it's exciting, isn't it?
How many goals is he going to score next season?
Honestly, I don't know. It could. You just don't know.
It could be any number. I think you could put any number.
I think you could.
I think with that team and the way they create chances,
and
the way he scores.
He's just ruthless, isn't he? Like with the way Man City play is, they like to get behind you and then they cut it back, and they know everybody just makes runs, right? They commit so many bodies, and this is what I say: if they get ahead of steam and they score one early doors, you're just thinking, this is a long day. It's going to be a nightmare.
Because, you said, they don't stop, do they? They don't get 2 goals up.
They're not happy with that.
No, they want
5, 6 every time, and they do normally score 5 or 6 goals. It's no shame in losing 5-0 almost. You know what I mean? It's the way that it goes. But now they'll be cutting it back, whereas normally they cut it back and they fizz it along the ground, right? With big Erling Haaland, they could be standing it up, they could be chipping it. Absolutely all sorts. He's just so I'm looking forward to seeing him play next season. Don't know if I'm looking forward to playing against him, but I think he's going to score a few goals next year.
Cutting him from the right.
Yeah, boom.
Jarrod Bowen. That's the nickname.
Nice ring.
That's the nickname.
Who gave you the nickname Jarrod Bowen?
I think it was some West Ham fans. Yeah, West Ham fans. But it's a nice one, isn't it? You know, when the player that he was.
Yeah, he was lovely, wasn't he?
And obviously, you get them comparisons of being left-footed and off the right and stuff. But obviously, he was the stuff he'd done in the game was incredible. But He is someone that I've looked at though, and I'm not even lying here. That I worked with one of the coaches at West Ham with him and Ribery, and it was the first few times they got the ball in the game, they went down the outside.
Yeah.
Because Ribery was on the left being right-footed, Robin was on the right being left-footed. And he said, watch them go down the outside here the first few times.
On the weaker foot, basically.
On their weaker foot.
Yeah.
And then see what happens. And they'd score coming inside because they've put that doubt in the defender's mind of going outside. So then the defender's then like, I don't know which way to show him here. If I show him outside, he's down the line. If I show him inside, he's got a shot on goal. So I have looked at him, especially like I said, with being left-footed. But the nickname is nice.
You take that all day long.
That's one of the good ones, isn't it? We've there's been some good nicknames in football, hasn't there? What's your favourite, Fozzy, over the years?
It's got, it's always
I know
our
what it
favourite.
is.
An ex-Crystal Palace player, I don't know if you remember him, called Fitzhall.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Centre-half.
His nickname was One Size because one size fits all. It's
Yeah.
world class. It's got to be the best nickname in world football.
It's got to be. Have you heard any good ones, Jarrod?
Have you got a nickname for Dorse or is he just Dorse?
Oh. Pablo calls him Dorse the horse.
Dorse?
He just runs around kicking
running through people. He's horrible, isn't he?
And I hate it. He gave me root canal, you know.
No, he didn't.
He did. He elbowed me right in the jaw and said, I didn't touch her. I had to have root canal on my tooth.
Mate, his body, his bones, I swear they're made of like concrete or something.
His legs are so big as
they're
well.
They're horrible, aren't they?
He is so big. But against him in training, I hate playing against him in training.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Because he gives it everything. He's the same as he is on a pitch in training, right? He'll give you everything. And like when he left Watford a few years back, I remember thinking, wow, that's a mistake, you know, because he is. I used to love playing with Dorse. I played with Dorse at West Brom for 5-6 years, and I used to love it just because I knew, like you said, that he would run through brick walls.
You know what you get him.
You know, he'll kick it, he'll head it. He ain't trying to be fancy with the ball, is he? And he'll score you goals at one end, and he'll defend the life out of it.
So why? Like, let's talk about England, right? Why is it just his age?
Craig Dawson. Yeah, I just don't think he's fancy enough player or big enough name.
I think is it one that he's not fancy enough?
Yeah.
Maybe not. He's not a typical ball playing centre half. And is he because he's in his 30s?
Yeah, I think that's all it is.
If you took it on merit right now as a defender, surely he's in the squad.
Yeah. If you want a defender,
exactly.
let's keep the ball out.
Well, that's what they're meant to do first and foremost, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, Dorse would just anyone there. He's kicking 6 foot up in the air.
He don't care who it is, honestly.
You and Dawes, come on. West Ham boys.
Yeah, no, but Ballon Dawson, lads. Ballon Dawson.
That's the shout.
Dawes. Can you imagine Ballon Dawson? What a guy.
He loves that shout.
Do you know that he's also the tightest man in the world as well? Yeah.
I'm glad you said it.
Horrific.
Oh my God, some of the stuff. Honestly, that's what football we're like. Dawes, you are so bad.
It's so bad.
So tight. I don't know where to start.
I want to get him on the fucking podcast.
We do. We'll get him on. We'll get him on sometime. He's basically not a footballer, but he's a footballer. Like he's so sort of like he's like a working class animal.
But that's a bit like I don't obviously the first time we've met today, Jarrod, but you weren't a product of an academy system, were you? Neither was Ben.
Yeah.
And
Dorse wasn't really, you know.
Was he not?
Fair to him, nah. He was like he got a bit of a later start. He used to work in a pub. Rochdale he was at.
Yeah. With the academy system, then, as players, can you see lads and do you relate more to lads that haven't been through academies?
So you didn't do any academy, no?
Nah, only obviously Hereford growing up wasn't.
Yeah, an academy then, really.
Pretty much academy. Yeah, it was. You know, all pretty no kind of structure, so to speak. But yeah, not the typical kind of. So
as a kid, then were you always like one of the best players in your area, for example?
Yeah, well, I played for Hereford and then played for Leominster as well, which is my local team, which my old man ran. And it was kind of whoever played. We was playing for Leominster, and we all played for Hereford as well. Because Hereford obviously wasn't full time; it was only once a week, twice a week maybe, and then a game on a weekend, and then Leominster was a Sunday league team maybe. But you all played with all your mates played, and you all played together.
That's a good laugh at.
No. So it was a good crack, and that was, to be fair, that was right up until about under 16s, and then obviously it gets a bit more ruthless, doesn't it? With, you know, people getting held on and people not. But even me, I got told to go away. So
really, what at 16?
Yeah, because there was no youth team. Obviously, the money situation. There was no. They just said, we're scrapping the youth team. There's no kind of financial support here. That's when I went to Cardiff. Yeah. And then went there for 6 weeks and then got told no from them as well. Wow. So I was just kind of like stuck in the mud of like, I ain't got a club here, so I'm just going to, I didn't know what I was going to do.
Yeah.
There's obviously farms back home or whatever. Could have jumped on a farm. But then you just got a bit lucky that a couple of things happened with the youth team manager going as first team manager, and then got my kind of break through that. But in terms of a proper like structural academy, no. Nothing.
I don't mind that. I think it's. I think you can get so much benefit from that because you learn. It's like that fear of you're so close to not being a footballer or not making it that it gives you that little bit more determination to go, right, when I'll get this chance, I am going to absolutely give it a go. So when you get into the Hereford first team at what, 17, 18?
Yeah, 16, 17 it was, yeah.
Yeah, and then you're starting for the first team and you start scoring goals.
Mad, yeah. It was, because obviously I was with all these pros that have played hundreds of games, and there's me and one of my mates that had never had any, obviously, experience before. But I think being in that kind of environment and that dressing room and that, pumping the balls up yourself and all that kind of stuff, and not having having one physio and having
proper,
a small
gym
but I think it makes you kind of, because what it's about, kind of, because you've seen that week to week professional football, so even if it was conference, it was still proper. And you're playing in front of those crowds, and you
and
kind
it
of
matters
get that
as well.
Yeah, it matters. There's stuff on the line.
Yeah,
and you get that taste for it, I think, and it pushes you on even much more to say, I want to keep doing this because this is good.
And then obviously the Hull. So when Hull are making a bid for you and it's sort of like common knowledge and everybody around you knows, what's that like? Is there a bit of a buzz about the place?
Yeah, do you know what? I went to West Brom for a couple of trials. I was there for about 4 weeks, stayed there in digs.
How old were you then? I would have been at West Brom then.
This was in 14, 15.
Yeah.
So
I
you'd
would have been
there.
at West Brom then,
So Hull were in the Prem then, weren't they, when you joined? Were they?
I think it was the FA Cup final year.
Right.
So I don't know what that was.
Yeah,
when they played Arsenal.
yeah. Well, I was definitely at West Brom then.
So I went to West Brom at the training ground. I stayed in the digs. When you come out of the training ground, not that long.
Yeah.
You're just up there somewhere. So I was there, and I wanted to sign there because.
How long was that trial for?
It's about 4. I played 2 games. So it was about 4 weeks.
Did you ever see me? Did you ever do anything?
No, because I was. To be honest, it was so long ago. I remember being obviously in the training ground and stuff, and going in the canteen, and playing games on the back
pitches. I know you mean.
So it was there, but I wanted to go there because it was like an hour from Hereford. I was like, I'll be home all the time, buzzing, and then my old man and that were like, no, we want you to go to Hull.
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's like 3.5 hours.
It's a little bit further away, isn't it?
3.5 hours away. They're like, no, trust me. It's a good club for you to go to in terms of development and off the pitch as well. As a person and life skills, you'll learn much more.
Yeah. Who was the gaffer then?
Hull,
sorry, yeah.
Steve Bruce.
Steve
Bruce was the manager,
nice,
So, but they didn't. I don't think they paid any money for it. There's a couple of things saying that they paid 40,000 for me, but I don't remember that because obviously I didn't get paid at Hereford. Because of the money.
So you weren't under a contract necessarily.
No. So for my final year, my first year of a scholar, YTS, I wasn't paid for 8 months, I think it was. So lucky I was living at home. And
that's a sign in for all, isn't it?
Wow.
They said they paid 40,000, but I don't think they did.
Bloody hell. So when you're like, obviously this is a few years ago, this is kind of 14, 15, and you hear stories of players coming in late, famously years ago, like people like Wrighty, Jamie Vardy, Tyrone Mings in like more recent years. I guess a question for both of you would be, if in 2022 you've got a really good Saturday player, right? Look at your old levels, for example. In this day and age, will they still make it? Will that cream still rise to the top?
Oh, do you reckon you're going to get another Jarrod Bowen, basically, sort of thing?
Yeah, in 2022, but let's say he's playing for Racing Club Warwick or Leominster Town or something like that. Do you think that it's football set up these days that they will still get the chance? If you're good enough, you will still make it.
Go on, you go, Jarrod.
I think for me, talking of me and talking about my let's use my hometown as an example, and I don't want to seem like I'm being big time here, but I think where I'm from in Leominster, no one really makes anything without being horrible.
No, I know the town.
So I've gone on to play in the Premier League from little old Leominster, and I still go home and see everyone, and they still treat me exactly the same. And that's perfect. So I think if you've got a young player playing there and they've kind of seen me do it, I don't see why they wouldn't
dream of
say.
Will they get picked up though?
I think I was in the same position. I think it's about your chance and taking your chance and going from there, because when I was coming through, people never probably thought I was ever going to get a move or do anything. They probably thought, is he going to get the chance? The club's going to want him. There was probably loads of questions up in the air, and you get that chance. So I got 8 games in the conference, and I kind of took my chance, and a manager knew someone, and that's all you need. You need someone to know someone, and then that was Tony Pennock at Hull, who came to watch my game, and then all of a sudden I'm signing for Hull, and then I'm just kicking on, and now I'm in the Premier League. So, like I said, without sounding big time and saying, I've kind of made it, people in my hometown would probably look at me and say, well, he's done it. I want to.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say, as a neutral, you've made it, mate. I think I can say that.
Yeah. No, I think, do you know what it is though? It's about you've just got to play games, and like you said a minute ago, if you're good enough, you'll get picked up. You will. I don't care.
So would a
where
young
you
Ben
are.
Foster now, at your age, playing for Racing Club Warwick, at 20 now, would a young Ben Foster still get picked up?
If you're good enough and you're doing it on a Saturday afternoon in front of people when they're watching, right? The football network is so large and far-reaching now, right? There'll be scouts at sort of like real low league levels. There will be. There's scouts absolutely everywhere, but you just need to be out there playing. Like we have young kids at our place, like goalkeepers and whatever, and I'm just saying to them, go out on loan, lads. Like just go out on loan and play, because in a couple of years' time, when you might not get kept on, or you might need another loan, they will look at your record and go, how many games has he played? Because managers nowadays, they need to know that they can rely on you. They need to know that you've played games, and when you're out there on a pitch on a Saturday afternoon, that you will do the job that they want you to do.
So what about if you come into if you don't go to an academy, say you've got an academy player that plays from, let's say, 11 or 12 years old, if someone comes in at 17 or 18, are they at a disadvantage because that 12-year-old's had 6-7 years of academy coaching? Is it a case of they're a bit raw and they need work, or are they at a disadvantage?
Go.
I think there's a slight advantage, because obviously the academy clubs and the proper structure, you have that coach and you have that one-to-one, you have those, and I'm using myself as an example for all these, but we didn't have that kind of coaching, like one-to-one specific coaching. Obviously we had coaching and they were good coaches, but they're not coaches on the level that are in these other academy clubs. Do you know what I mean? So obviously players, you still learn more when you get into, when you turn 18 and start training with first teams and playing games. I still think you learn, but I think it's hard to say from a young age, are you going to learn everything you need to know at that age? Yeah. It's hard to say, but I still feel you get a bit more coaching, and I think that's just normal. Yeah,
I think a lot of it's down to the person, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. Obviously the coaching, I agree. Like I think it's hugely important that you've got the coaching, the bare necessities, the bare skills to start with. But I think it's like you just watch the way Jarrod will play, for example. He don't scream, shout, blah blah blah. He just goes about his business, right? He runs his socks off. Like his work rate is incredible, always shutting stuff down and that. And I think that's a mentality. It goes back to your sort of like early days where you didn't necessarily have the glitz and glamour or the best equipment, the best balls, whatever, but it was just about playing and winning and going out there and doing the best you can every time. And I think that's, for me, is the most important thing, for sure, isn't it?
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, love it. Right, so Hull, then the big move, okay? The West Ham move. Yeah, £18 million in total with a few add-ons and bits and bobs and all this kind of stuff. What's it like when a Premier League team like West Ham, a proper Premier League team, make a bid like that for you?
It was mad that last day, because it all happened on the last day. It was probably the most craziest and stressful day of my life.
Yeah.
I remember waking up, didn't know a bid had come in. By the time I travelled from my house to the training ground, a bid had gone in.
Wow.
And I hadn't spoke to my agent or my dad. Me and my dad were just like...
Did you not know anything was happening? So that week before, you're a Hull player, you're going to be a Hull player.
It was the last day of the window. Nothing was happening. Nothing happened in the night before. Nothing. It was
so you didn't know, like, normally you'd think...
There would have been rumours.
Yeah, there was
always
rumours.
Yeah.
I remember a couple of talks. There was a loan move that, didn't materialise, and I didn't really want a loan move. It was... and then I remember, like I said, travelling from my house to the training ground, a bid had gone in from West. I now went into the training ground not knowing this. So I've gone to get changed, gone to have my breakfast, like all the usual stuff's in the manager, Grant McCann at the time. And he was like, what are you doing here? I was looking at him like, what?
Nah.
I was like, what are you on about? He's like, going to my office. I thought, oh God, here we go. What's happened?
What have I done?
Yeah, what have I done? And then he went, we've accepted a bid from West Ham. And mate, my stomach just fell. I was like, when you feel sick?
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
Oh my, because when you want to move and you feel like you've done enough in the seasons and it's never materialised, and I think getting that Premier League move is really hard, and to get that news of saying we've accepted
it, that's the bit.
I was like, oh my God, so my stomach kind of fell. And he was at West Ham as a youngster, he told me, and he was talking to me about it, blah blah blah. And then I was like, all right, what do I do now? Because I've never done it before. I was like, what do I do? Do I just go down or? And then he was like, got the physio in. It was like, go to Leeds, do like it was like a body scan.
Yeah,
that was like your medical.
Start of your medicals. Yeah.
So I done that. And then it was about 6 o'clock. We was in Leeds, and then we had to get a train from Doncaster to King's Cross. So then me, my dad and my brother were all here. Like, we couldn't believe what was going on.
Is this like fully daunting at this? Like,
Yeah.
thinking you thinking, right, I've got to move down to
Yeah.
London, all sorts.
I didn't think it was real.
Can we just add a bit of perspective just at this point? So you'd been at Hull for 5 years.
5 years,
So
yeah.
you'd had 3 seasons, 17-18 season, 18-19 and 19-20. You played like 40 games plus.
Mate, scoring record was decent. It was about 2.5 a game
Yeah,
you'd
no,
score.
that's right.
Sorry,
Yeah.
1 goal every 2.5 games. That's what your scoring record was.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was. I enjoyed it there. It was a nice place to learn and not have that pressure. And that first season, I remember I had of being in the Championship, of that first experience of playing week in, week out, and I was like, I got the buzz for it. I was like, I love this. This is what I want. And then it just kind of went from strength to strength. And obviously, I'll always be grateful for that club for the opportunity they gave me.
Yeah.
And I had so many managers at that club, though. Like I said, I signed with Steve Bruce, but then I had Mike Phelan when Steve Bruce went to Villa.
Of course, yeah.
And then it was Marco Silva coming in the January. And then it was Leonid Slutsky.
Wow, yeah.
And then it was Nigel Adkins. Then it was Grant McCann. So I think it was every year I had a new manager. But I did love it there. But I think the time was probably right for me to leave in the end. And I just that day, we're talking about it now. It's just for 2 weeks, probably I didn't believe it. I thought, I was in London and I was signed and I was training, but I was like,
Where did you sign?
At the stadium, yeah. So
At
I
the
got
stadium.
trained to things like King's Cross or something, and it was late. And I remember the secretary, he was getting so stressed because it was like 10 o'clock, and I was like speaking to the manager and speaking to the physio. He's like, "Come on, like 11 o'clock, we need to wrap this up." And then it was about 11:15. He's like, "We need to get like the panic in his face." Was fun, but then we signed it and done all the media stuff that you do, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember the game was the next day. They played Brighton at home. And then, like I said, for 2 weeks, I was in a hotel with my brother, and we were just like, what is going on here? Like, we just couldn't believe it. Like, obviously, from where we're from, like Leominster, like, we've never experienced anything like it. And then we're like, we've just, like, my brother's like, you've just signed for a Premier League club. I was like, I know, it's mad, really, but I just didn't believe it. Like, it was crazy how I just didn't. I think because it was on the last day and it happened so quick, there was so much going on.
Yeah.
My brain probably didn't process that I actually signed for West Ham.
So what was it like then for the first like few weeks at the training ground? So you've obviously, it's a massive step up, yeah? The training ground, the facilities, the quality of players that you're going to be training with. What was it like? Was it like, wow, do I fit in here, or like I'm going to smash this, or what?
Nah, you always have those questions of a player coming from the Championship. But it was a bit like a trial, because I didn't know anyone. It was halfway through the season. There was games going on to the manager had to prepare for. Obviously, I was involved as well, but you just don't know anyone. Everyone makes you feel welcome and stuff, but you don't know them fully.
Yeah.
So you just kind of like, I don't know, just like bobbing about the place, like just like you're on trial for a bit. But obviously the games help then as well. Do you know what I mean? Like when you start playing and you train more and you spend more time with players.
Yeah.
You start to settle in more. And I remember my first 2 games, Liverpool away and Man City away.
Wow.
And I thought, this could finish me. I could come from the Championship.
And what was it like? What was it like training day to day? Could you straight away notice the step up in quality?
Yeah, it's just the standard, and the levels that people set themselves, and especially with this manager now that we've got, and the standards he sets every day in training that he doesn't want us to go below. And I remember coming in the first couple of sessions, and I was like breathing so heavily. I was like,
just because everything was quicker and
just
sharper.
quicker, yeah. And I was just like obviously not used to it.
And bear in mind, by the way, he's halfway through a season, so it's not like it's pre-season where he's not fit or anything. It's just that everything is so much sharper and quicker that you've got, like, it's just a massive, massive step up.
The step up is, I think that's one of the main things, like the speed of it.
Yeah.
But I think it's more of like a mental thing as well. Like in your brain, you've always got to be like on it. Do you know what I mean? You can't.
Yeah, you
you
ever
can't
switch
not
off.
come off it.
Ever.
Otherwise, someone's just gonna.
How did them first 2 games go against Man City and Liverpool?
I didn't start. I think the manager done it really well. I came off about 20 minutes each game.
Yeah.
And I actually should have scored against Liverpool.
Really?
Yeah. I had a chance against Alisson where I went to dink him, and a week later the manager started me at Southampton at home, and I scored. And I think it was McCarthy in goal.
Yeah.
And I chipped him exactly the same as Alisson, and that one went in. But it was those Liverpool Man City games. like being there. I remember being on the bench. The Liverpool game in particular, when they're, because I've never been to Anfield, never played there, never gone there with Hull, and hearing them singing and how loud it was. What's
it? You've got to talk about your family, because a minute ago you kind of checked yourself a bit when you said your brother said we're signing, and you kind of said you, but I know that's
nice,
that's how it is with a close family, isn't it? Like even with like really close friends, and obviously you're very close to your brother, but like when people ask me, and I'll kind of go we're so Ben's, but that's how it is, isn't it? What was it like for your family and to all of a sudden to be playing against Liverpool and Man City?
Like I said before, we just didn't believe it. But like my dad and my brother, they were the ones that was with me on that day. So we was just like, my dad's taken phone calls from, if it's from Cardiff being told that they're not signing me, if it's from Hereford saying, so he's seen it all. He's seen the lows. He's been there for the lows. And then to see that, he drove off after I signed, because I think he was just, I remember he said, I've got to get back.
Need a bit of him to process it all.
I've got to get back. Yeah, well, yeah.
It was 12 o'clock at night, bear in mind.
Yeah.
That was the one time that I've seen him that I knew that he'd be upset, because he's acts like a tough man, He's just like, And then I think that one time where, because it was me achieving my dream of being in the Premier League that I've always worked towards, and I think for him to...
Your dad was a player, by the way, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was a bit of a baller as well, apparently,
It was the West Ham. He was going to sign for West Ham as well, which was a bit mad.
Sam, yeah?
Sam, yeah.
Look at this research I've done here. This is incredible.
He had a nickname, didn't he? Would you know this about this?
Yes, I do.
Did he?
Something about his debut. What's it called?
Didn't he score for 3 clubs, like hat-tricks
on his debut?
I know he scored for... Was it Merthyr against Forest Green? He scored 5 on his debut.
Did he? Yeah, on his debut.
Don't let me forget that.
Like hat-trick, like it was
it was
3 or 4 clubs. He scored a hat-trick on his debut, didn't he?
The balls he had from the conference.
Yeah.
But when I was growing up, that's ages ago, it was a yellow one, like the old yellow, and I can't remember what it was called.
Mitres would they have been?
Yeah. So he had them footballs. But he was going to sign for, I think he came on trial when Harry Redknapp was the manager.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I think he was at Merthyr Tydfil, and they wanted XYZ money, and then he just kind of fell out of love with the game and played a bit of rugby, and then that was kind of it. So he's got that love for the game as well, do you know what I mean? And I think that's why he's on to me all the time, because I wouldn't say he pushed me to be a footballer, but he knew that I could make something of it. And he just, the levels that I could get to. So going back to when he was definitely crying in the car.
Yeah.
He didn't need to get back,
I've got to go, got to get dinner on.
Who wants to go on the M1 at 2 o'clock in the morning, do you know what I mean? But but obviously that's a special moment to know that he was like that. And my mum and all my family as well. My mum was on the other end of the phone the whole time, like, what's going on? Like, but I didn't want to tell her that. I didn't tell her because I was like, I don't want to jinx it. Like, what if I tell her I've signed at 8 o'clock at night and it comes to it and I haven't signed? Do you know what I mean? So I didn't speak to anyone that day. I had so
until
many
it's fully done and you're like there. That's
signed.
it. The
Until
next
I've signed
day,
on the line.
The next day you wake up and there's nothing in the press about a deadline was missed or something. You never know.
I've signed,
And then so you obviously you're from the countryside, and then you move up to Hull, which is not massively known for being the most cosmopolitan city in the world.
That's City of Culture, didn't it? About 10 years ago.
Yeah,
there you go.
Coventry as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it did as well. Yeah.
And then you're in London.
Yeah, it's mad. I remember saying I don't want to move to London. It's too many people.
I bet you've changed your mind now, haven't you?
Hereford, little old Hereford, full of farms, full of fields. Then to Hull, which is not similar, but it's got its similarities in terms of...
A bit more space at least,
yeah. And then coming to London is just so different. Just the total opposite of what I'm used to. But you get used to it, and I love it down here now, do you know what I mean? And I think it's being out of your comfort zone, but then you come into your comfort zone, if that makes sense. You're almost like, I don't really want to go there because I don't really like it, but I've never really experienced it, if that makes sense.
So you've got to give it a go at least.
Yeah, you've got to give it a go. And now I love it down here. I've got my house and stuff. So I'm happy down here.
It's like a different world, isn't it, London? We say it every time we come down, we're like, you find something new. It is like a different country within England, isn't it?
It is.
Well, we're on the Strand now, and it's like 23 degrees outside today, 24 degrees, and it is Ramo, isn't it? Like, it's people everywhere.
Coming down the street, the amount of people that you just see, and like just walking down the street, and just rammed,
Just
isn't it?
humans everywhere.
Constantly.
Can I just say, I found it funny a minute ago when he said that his first few weeks at West Ham, and it's like he was on trial again. Like he's just been bought for 18 million quid.
Expensive trialist.
Yeah, and he's still wandering around the place as if like, are they thinking they've made a mistake here or something?
Yeah, did they get the wrong player?
So, who were the boys that really welcomed you into the fold?
Nobes was good. Deck as well. Deck messaged me actually on Instagram, and I was like,
when you signed?
Yeah, I was like, Deck's messaged me because obviously like he was obviously in international series, but he's like a big player. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I was like to my brother, he's messaged me. Yeah, I was like, shall I message him back or?
Up close and personal, Declan Rice as a footballer, just how good?
Oh mate, I don't think there's any word. I think you just see how
really,
like especially this season. I think the Euros this season, last season, was. I think he showed how good he was then.
Yeah.
And I think this season again, he's just gone on to
another level again.
Another level, yeah. It's just.
So what's Declan now? 24, is he? 23, 24?
23, I want to say.
Yeah,
I want to say I'm 2 years old, 23.
Because he still qualifies for young PF, so he'll be
Yeah,
23 then, won't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate.
I've got to say, from just obviously playing against him, you see, he's like a fully grown sort of.
He's just got everything, I think.
Everything.
Like box to box.
Yeah.
But like he's a holding midfielder, like winning the ball. But then you see him running with the ball.
He spanked one from 25, 30 yards past me last season as well.
Did he?
Yeah. Well, a couple of seasons ago actually, when we got relegated. Never mind.
Which time?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I think. Is it too soon to say? I think you are now the most relegated player in Prem history.
I think
because you and Rambo were having an argument over who had been relegated more times.
I've definitely been relegated from the Premier League. This is my 5th relegation this season.
What's Dorse's?
Dawson's got
done a few,
mate, yeah. I don't think he's going to get a relegation at West Ham though, so I think he's all right.
I think he's right for a couple more years.
Again, I spoke to Dawes earlier about you. Can I just tell you a few things that he said about you? All right. So he said, Fozzy, he's such a good lad. Honestly, he says basically he's just like a farmer. So that's how he described you. And I went, so he's a good lad then. Yeah. He went, honestly, he's absolutely brilliant. I went, like as a footballer, just how good is he? All right. And these are Dawson's words. All right. I don't care. Like everybody get in the comments and absolutely belittle him for this, whatever you want, right?
Yeah, nice one.
Dawson's words were, Fozzy, he could go again, mate. He is that good. He reminds me of Leo Messi. That's what Dawson said.
Bowen,
I promise you. But
taking that,
you got to think, right? This is from somebody who. Craig Dawson's a clever lad, you know. He's got his head switched on, hasn't he? He knows what he's talking about with certain things, right? And to say up close and personal that you could go again is a massive sort of like, you know what I mean? Coming from somebody, that's nice to hear, isn't it?
Yeah, Dawson's the ledge.
Yeah,
like,
he is.
I remember when he first came in, I didn't think he liked me.
Really?
Because obviously I was against him, he was kicking me, but he didn't really speak to me, so I was like,
that's just normal, mate.
Yeah, that's just normal. And I remember we played, you were at our place in the lockdown when we went 3-0 up in about 15 minutes. Yeah. And I remember, I went to go past Dawes and he elbowed me right in the rib. And I looked at him and I went, what are you doing? And he just gave me the biggest death stare. We spoke about it when he signed and he was like, I don't know, maybe I was just...
He does it to everyone, mate. He's horrible.
But yeah, you look at him and think he's horrible, but he is the nicest guy.
I know.
And obviously those words are...
Yeah, it's true though, mate.
I'll pay him next week after I told him to pay me.
It's true.
But no.
I know what he's saying. I know, like the messy. When he said the messy bit, don't get me wrong, it's tongue in cheek a little bit kind of thing, but bloody blah. But it's true. You can just see that when you're on the pitch, it's not about like having all the silky skills and all that. It's just that drive to just go, right, I'm going to do it again today. And it seems to me like West Ham have got quite a few of them characters, haven't they?
Yeah, that's what it is. I think the manager's done really well with what kind of atmosphere he's created with this group and what he demands off us. And I can only speak from when I came in because that's when he was here. But I think we were 17th in the league, and I was thinking, I can't get relegated. I can't come in the Championship and get relegated. Yeah. And then to get that out of the way and stay clear of relegation, which obviously was what we wanted to do, and then to finish 6th last season, to go into qualify for Europe, and then this season hopefully do it again as well.
Yeah.
I think it just goes to show what the manager's done in terms of what kind of group he's brought in, like you said, about players that just want to play and want to work for each other. And it gets you results and it gets you consistently in the top 7, which we've done the last 2 seasons.
Do you think? I think a really big thing about signing new players for clubs right nowadays is you've got to do like a bit of, they call it due diligence, where you have to find out about the player that you're signing. So it seems to me like when you've got people like David Moyes and Stuart Pearce. whoever they're signing, if they're signing a new player in the summer, it could be for £1 million or it could be for 30 million quid, right? They want to find out first and foremost what this guy is about. Is he a good lad?
Yeah.
Does he fit in with a group? Does he work as a team? All that kind of stuff. Because that's sort of what West Ham are about, right?
Yeah, because I think it goes to show about like a changing room. You don't want bad eggs in the changing room because it only takes a few bad results. You have one to go to the other, and then all you know, the place is toxic.
Yeah,
and I think that's what the manager's kind of cut out since he's
got rid of the whoppers.
Just got good, honest working lads, and you know, people probably thought just signing me from the Championship, so to speak, signing different Championship players, thinking we don't want these players, but then you kind of trust in what the manager's done and trust in the group that he's brought in. And they're going, actually, do you know what? Maybe the manager was right, and it just goes to show.
Really happy for David Moyes because obviously he was at Everton for so many years, and I think he's a classic case of being the right fit for a right club.
Yeah, he is,
obviously when he left Man United, he kind of flitted a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he just seems to have gone into West Ham. They get him, he gets them, and it just
we went out to Spain a bit, didn't he? Didn't quite work out there, but I think the thing that West Ham have done basically is just put their trust in him and gone, right, we're sticking with you here, right? So do the thing from top to bottom, get the players in you want to do, get rid of the players that you want to do, and it's reaping its reward because they're absolutely smashing it.
And what about the run in Europe then? That was a hell of a ride, I'm guessing.
Yeah, a lot of us, it's me, my first kind of taste of European football, and some of the players as well. So I think at the start it was just kind of, obviously we want to get through the group, but we didn't really know what to expect. You know, we went to Zagreb in Croatia, and we went to Genk in Belgium, and then Vienna is Austria.
Yeah.
There you go.
And but it's just mad. I think when you go there and see like the fans are crazy. Like when you go to like these European
They've all
places,
got ultras though, haven't they?
Ultras,
They've all got
everywhere.
ultras, yeah.
And I remember the Frankfurt game and the Lyon game especially. Those two away games were hostile.
Were they? Yeah.
So hostile.
Really?
Whistle, like the shows before the game, obviously being knockout stages, and they had flares, and like I thought they had guns or bombs. Like they let off these grenades, and I swear to God, on the pitch I thought I'm going to die.
Is that when you're playing? Does that get in your head a little bit?
Yeah, when you heard those bombs go off, I thought, what is going on? It was.
Well, you don't get it in this country, do you?
That
bang.
Yeah, it's true.
I know exactly when you listen to it on when you watch a game on TV and that kind of
the
like
pop and
bang.
stuff, yeah.
And you
like
think
poppers, I don't know, but it was after the game at Lyon because we beat them 3-0, and I think they were obviously their fans were fuming.
Yeah,
and they like tried to break down these stands.
They did. I remember.
And they tried to come on the pitch, and I thought we're in trouble here.
Yeah,
and I just heard these bangs go off, and I thought someone's got a shotgun. Or someone's got a grenade, I'm going to die. Because I've never heard it before. You don't hear it at you don't hear it at Vicarage Road, do you? You didn't hear like bangs going off
friggin'
there.
no chance. That was some result, that 3-0 away at Lyon, by the way. Because they're a good team then. They're a really good team, aren't they?
So I want to talk about what it is like in the lead up to like a semi-final. Obviously it didn't go your way over two legs, but fantastic to see West Ham there and Rangers as well, obviously in the final. But in the lead up to that game, like that second leg in the week, what's it like at the football club?
I think as hard as it is, you've got to try and treat it as another game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can't get caught up in the moment. You can't get caught up in the fact that it is a semi-final. It probably was the biggest in the club's history, so to speak. But as a player, as hard as it is, you can't... Of course you're going to think, I want to get to a final. You're going to be nervous. Of course, I was so nervous before the game. But leading up to it, you can't let it play on your mind because you just got to think it's another game. You got to think it's another game. We're confident we can beat these, and I think that was the message for all the knockout games, especially away from home. We knew at home that the following that we have in the stadium, the atmosphere they create, we knew that would give us a little boost. But going away in these hostile places, I said how hostile it is, so hostile. We just needed to play our game, and I think it suited us. To be fair, a couple of the games that we played, especially the Lyon game away. We knew that they'd come out firing, we knew they'd have chances, and then we win 3-0 with goals on the
counter. That suits you, that, doesn't it?
It suits us down to the ground. So it's just about not getting caught up in the moment, I think.
Yeah, that's a really important point, to be fair, because I think people would sometimes go, what, you don't like prepare any harder, and I'm thinking, no, you shouldn't do that anyway. Like, if you can't prepare exactly the same time properly and do it 100% every single time, then you're doing something wrong in the first place.
Every game's a process, isn't it? Every game is a process.
So it doesn't matter if you're playing Burnley on Saturday or if you're playing Man City on Saturday. Obviously your tactics will change a little bit, but you don't mentally prepare or get up for it, do you?
It's the funfair around it, isn't it? Like media, fans and I guess people close to players as well. It's quite big for them.
What are you like with social media? Did you take much notice of it all?
No, I've got social media. I've got Instagram and a couple of the other things, but I don't get caught up in it. I think a few years ago I used to get caught up with you used to search your name, see what people are writing about you, and you get caught up in it because you could have 100 comments, you have 99 good ones, you have one bad one. You're thinking,
the one goes in, doesn't it?
The one goes in. You don't really care what people are saying good about you because you want that. Do you know what I mean? You're going on there to look for that.
You're searching for the bad ones.
But you see that bad one, and then you're like, then it plays on your mind. And so don't look at it in that respect. And even on Instagram, I post pictures, comments, whatever. I don't go through the comments and message requests I've got off. So it's not like I'm getting stuff. But I think it's it can be a bit of a bad place, social media, especially if things aren't going well and you're that type of player that wants to see what people are saying about you because like I said, we can see that one comment and it'll play on your mind.
Yeah, it's true. I think some of the young kids, I always tell a lot of kids at our place, stay off it, mate. Stay off it. It's poison, isn't it?
I think it's important though for like kids listening and watching and stuff, saying that you've got two elite level players here, and you've just said, Jarrod, that one comment will
100%.
It will kind of get in your head, won't it?
Which is bonkers as well, because you're never going to meet this person.
No.
Most of them got on Twitter, they got the boiled eggs.
Yeah.
The eggs just a picture. You don't even know who they are.
It's true. It's like faceless. Somebody's just created a spam account to just come and call you a dickhead and stuff.
Yeah. So I was just thinking about, we did a podcast the other day, a kind of announcement summary of the season type thing, and we were reading out Instagram questions, and then I was like, oh, that's a good question. Username, twat.
Yeah, his username
number
was
one.
twat
We
one.
were and you were like, he's not twat. That's a good question.
It was a decent question, actually. Right, we're going to go on to the Fozzy Quickfire questions in a minute. Tommy, Thomas,
you've
you
never ever called me Tommy in your entire life. I just want to quickly, before we go on to the Quickfires, I saw a video of you doing your FIFA rating at the start of the season.
Oh, let's talk about the FIFA rating.
Let's talk about the FIFA rating.
I've seen this video, okay? I think I might be higher than you, actually.
I think you got the same.
I'm about 50 years old. I think
I think you were 78, weren't you?
I think I was, actually, yeah. So do you play much FIFA or anything?
I'm on FIFA all the time.
Really?
Every week. There's a thing on FIFA called Weekend League.
Yeah.
So I'm on Weekend League every weekend.
Decent, are you?
What league are you in?
Well, it's just a ranking at however many wins you can get. What did I get last weekend? 14 wins.
Did you? You put some time in
so
then,
obviously when my card's like that, I want a card that I can use for myself. Do you know what I mean? So
have you had many sort of informs or anything this season?
I had a Europa League card,
nice.
which was nice. Yeah, so I used that a couple of times, but that's kind of because you can get the pro player card as well, can't you? But people know it's you then. So if I'm start getting,
so have you got one on your account?
Nah, because if I start getting spanked by people start outing me saying.
Do you know also you get your pro player card, but they also give you free.
They don't do the icons anymore.
Don't they do it anymore?
This season they've stopped it.
Nah.
Last season, the season before, I used to get
Ronaldo,
we had them
as well,
just take us to the cleaners. But
so what are you saying, right, for next season? So at the moment,
78 this year.
78 this season.
This year. A realistic FIFA rating for you next season.
What they'll do. They do it every year.
They've
just to be
stitched
controversial
on shooting and pace. They have done you up a kipper.
76 is a bit naughty, that.
Yeah.
It's got to be 82, 83 next season.
Come on, give me a realistic prediction next year for your FIFA rating.
81, I think.
Yeah, I think they will. They don't ever go overboard, do they?
Then it's not like they're going to go, right, he's had a good season, 85.
Okay.
No.
Bang.
And how many are you going to drop next season?
Oh, mate. I could be in the 60s next year.
Nah, they've got a bit more respect for you than that.
I don't know, mate. I don't think so.
Right, next season, you two have got to unveil each other's cards to each other. That would be fun.
We'll sweep that one under the carpet, mate. We'll move on. All right. All right then. So Jarrod Bowen, we're towards the end of the podcast, right? This is what we call Fozzy's quickfire questions. Okay. So we're just going to rattle through them. You give us as much of an answer or as little as an answer, whatever you want to do. Okay, ready. So we will start with, do you have any hidden skills?
I'm double jointed in my thumb.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, that's weird. Horrible, in fact. Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, that's strange.
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
That's a skill, by the
cider maker?
No, not a cider. I don't like cider.
No?
No, I don't like cider or beer. Weird. From Hereford, yeah.
Yeah. Favourite meal?
Lasagna.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had it a couple
Like
of-
ahead of burgers, everything. Lasagna,
Yeah,
yeah.
lasagna, yeah. It's because I had it a couple of days ago as well. That
All right.
homemade is unreal.
Nice.
Favourite drink?
Is alcoholic or soft?
Anything.
Nah, after a game, Coca-Cola, but in a bottle, glass
Ah,
bottle.
nice.
Something about
Oh,
a
a
glass
glass
bottle,
bottle.
Coca-Cola.
330 icon bottle, they call it. The icon bottle.
Yeah.
they
There's
call
something
it.
about those
Yeah.
glass bottles there. They
chilled,
taste
nicely
different.
chilled, yeah.
So that,
Have you ever had that? That exact one, but into the freezer where it's at the point of freezing.
No.
So it's like just turning slushy.
no,
That's next
I might
level.
try it.
Yeah,
It's a
do.
common drink after games, you know, Coke is.
Yeah.
Like the lads are absolutely...
Why is
love
that
it.
sugar?
Sugar just you need to
Because
like...
can you
yeah.
eat after a game straight away?
Can I eat? Oh, yeah, mate. I just stand there and shout, don't I? Come on.
But after a game, it takes me like, I just need like a drink, I feel. After I can't eat for about 2 hours.
Oh, really?
I
Yeah.
can't eat. It's just, but give me a can of Coke or a bottle
Yeah.
of Coke, and I'm like,
Boom.
feel
So what do you do on
unbelievable.
like so if you've got a Saturday, like an evening game or something like a midweeker,
And the
what-
game don't finish till 10 o'clock.
Yeah, what does your night look like from after the game on a
Well, I'm up till
midweeker?
about 4 o'clock, so I can't sleep.
Are you FIFA?
It's an adrenaline
Well,
thing.
trying to go to sleep but can't sleep. I'm just there, wired, like
Yeah.
shaking, like
Yeah.
my body's like, I'm not going
Coke
to
sugar
sleep.
inside.
But it depends. Like some games, you're like, oh, I'm hungry. But most of the time, I'm like, I don't eat. So if it's like a 10 o'clock game, unless I get hungry and there's something in my freezer, I just won't eat.
Really, till the
bad,
next
really,
morning.
yeah.
No, it's hard though. It is like they try and cram it down you as well. Yeah, they'll always put food on afterward, and they want you to take stuff away with you to eat and stuff. But it's just
Sometimes
if
you just can't.
yeah. If you don't want to eat, you don't want to eat, do you? All right, your idols growing up. We'll do sporting idols growing up first.
David Beckham.
Bex, yeah, I saw that. I read that in the
Yeah, David Beckham.
Yeah, lovely. And then personal idols.
Personal idol. Growing up in Hereford. Well, I was Man United. Because obviously David Beckham, because I was a Man United fan.
Who's the nearest Prem team to the Hereford?
But, well,
But yeah, maybe, yeah.
It would be
Shrewsbury,
Midland,
no, not Shrewsbury.
like big team, like big Prem team.
Telford.
no, Wolves probably. actually.
Wolves, yeah.
Yeah, Wolves.
Yeah.
That's 45 minutes.
Wow.
So you said Hereford's 2 hours away. What are you on about?
From Leamington.
What's the best advice you would give to your younger self?
Keep enjoying it. Keep working hard
Yeah,
because
nice.
you can get setbacks along the way.
Yeah.
And it's how I think it's how you deal with those setbacks shape you as a person, as a player. Because then
Yeah.
if anything happens badly, you know how to
Deal with
kind
it.
of deal with it. Yeah.
Nice, I like that. Is there anything on your bucket list that you would like to do?
Oh, that's
Like-
all like daredevil stuff, isn't it? Like
Like
jumping
maybe
on
playing a
After
World,
playing and stuff,
maybe
yeah.
playing a World Cup or something like that.
Or getting an England call up?
yeah, that'd be lovely. Bucket list. What would I love to do? Get an hole-in-one in golf, maybe?
Oh, do you play a bit of golf? Yeah.
Not like
Yeah,
every
I know.
day,
Yeah.
like in
You're
summer.
like an 18 handicapper.
I don't know what that means. So that's how good I am.
You
at
don't
golf.
play much golf
No,
then.
So I'm not, but get an hole-in-one in golf, I just think.
Yeah.
I've got a new question for the list.
Go on.
Just dawned on me. So, sporting events around the world. What's your sporting bucket list event? I.e., Augusta for the Masters or Madison Square
Yeah.
for
F1
Knicks
Miami
game
or something.
Anything that really pops out?
Going to watch.
Yeah.
I think 'cause I love football, we'll be a World Cup final.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah.
Where?
Oh.
A dream venue.
Yeah, dream venue. We can't say Wembley because he'll hopefully be playing.
Yeah.
I've seen one in, is it Mexico?
Yeah, there
no,
is
I
a
did see one the
monster
other
one.
day in Turkey. Have you seen the Turkish one that's
No.
like a crocodile, the stadium?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Have you
Yeah,
seen that?
Besiktas is it, I think. Is it?
You played there,
it's not
did you?
Besiktas,
Did you play
it's,
there?
No, I don't think I did. That wasn't there.
Did
then.
you see the stadium though? The
Yeah,
green crocodile.
green
That'd be
crocodile.
unreal to go
Bonkers,
there.
isn't it? Yeah. Don't know about a World Cup final there, but yeah, I'm
No,
with you
no, I
anyway.
don't
I'm
know
with, I'm
about
with you.
World Cup
Yeah,
final.
Have you got a karaoke song in you?
American Pie.
Oh, what a song.
The full 8-minute
full-
version as well.
full one,
Yeah,
8-minute
okay.
version, yeah.
You ain't beating Tyson Fury at doing it,
No,
mate.
no.
Nobody's going to beat him
chance.
doing it. Favourite film?
The Gentleman.
Oh, yeah,
great
good film.
movie.
Really good
Great
film.
movie.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't watch many films. Like I haven't watched like the big,
Yeah, yeah.
historic ones that people always say. But
Underrated, that is the
It
truth.
is, yeah.
that's so
true.
good that film.
Very good film. Favourite TV programme of all time?
Oh, there's two. Prison Break or Power.
Oh,
Both great.
Prison Break Series 1.
Yeah.
Prison Break Series
near enough
1.
one of the
Did
best
drag
things ever
out a
made.
bit, the last,
Yeah.
the ones in between,
Yeah.
they were a bit of a drag. Whereas I think Power was just constantly good.
Yeah, to the end. Like I think season 4.
I didn't watch it, never watched it.
Very good.
Prison Break, Power, obviously Peaky Blinders as
Peaky
well.
Blinders, good, yeah.
Like that.
You ever seen Entourage?
No, but that's meant to be unreal now.
Unreal.
Yeah, I think Nobes told me about that.
Unreal.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
Yeah, okay, cool. Favourite holiday destination?
Where have I been that I enjoyed? I enjoyed Mykonos. I went there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went there 2 years ago, I think, for the first time. I haven't really been many places. I've been Ibiza, like Lads Holiday, Ayia Napa.
Yeah.
But I went to Mykonos and that was
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, that was. I think you can do it all there. You can have a chilled meal, or you can just
that's it. Have a proper session or whatever. I think I was there 2 years ago actually. By the way, Jarrod's not got any holidays booked for the summer, have you, mate? Because obviously he's still waiting to see if you're going to get called into England's team, which we're sure you will. By the way, we hope you will anyway. If you couldn't have been a footballer, what sport would you have loved to do professionally?
Probably golf, you know.
Yeah,
probably golf because. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say from an outsider, obviously it looks
I'm sure
fun,
it's hard
obviously.
work, but still.
Obviously being a golfer, I'm sure it's hard work, but like the courses and that. Like,
nice life that, isn't it?
Augusta or something, that would be.
Oh, God, yeah.
What sport do you think, this is maybe a strange question, what sport do you think is probably the least demanding? So something like golf, football, you're training most of golf, is a lot of travel. NBA, they play like 5-6 nights in a row. What kind of sport do you think is one of the lesser demanding sports? Is there one?
I don't think there is one. I don't think there can be one because now to be...
Is bowling a sport?
Bowling?
I bet you they practice they're purely practicing and doing like
Darts.
weights and stuff on it and that.
Darts,
nah, they practice like 8-9 hours a day just chucking a dart at a board.
There is one.
You can't have a professional elite level sport now that's not demanding.
Yeah.
They have to be. That's just what it is now. The level's so high.
Yeah.
Do you have any phobias?
You used to not like water, you know.
Really? What, seawater or swimming, like swimming pool?
Like
really?
I remember because my auntie lives down in London. I used to come when I was young, and I used to go over the bridge.
Yeah.
And I used to look down and get so scared.
Is that not a heights thing, not a water thing?
Maybe, I don't know.
A bit of both?
Bit of both, maybe, yeah. But I just thought, what if I fall in?
Yeah, you're struggling, mate. I'd say you're dead, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd probably say that as well.
Double dead. Do you have an app on your phone, a game app that you play religiously?
I got New Star Soccer. But that's a bit dated now. I've played it a bit too much. That's more like, you know, when you go on a flight and
something to do,
you're on airplane mode, you've got no signal.
Nothing else.
Yeah, so New Star Soccer.
Yeah, mine's Countdown. I'll do the same thing. Countdown.
Really?
Boom. Sweet as that. Your favourite superhero?
Superman?
Yeah, okay. These are proper weird random questions, but people buzz off these.
I don't really watch many.
No Marvels, no? You don't watch none of that, no?
Marvel.
My missus made me watch the new Spider-Man before. Is that Marvel?
Yeah, that's Marvel, yeah.
It's these days,
that was
isn't it?
good.
Yeah. Yeah, the new Spider-Man's decent. I really like that. If you were a boxer, what would your walkout song be?
Oh. Do you know what I like? The Kell Brook one, All of the Lights.
Yeah, it's class.
That's nice,
I
yeah.
like that one.
Yeah, that
I've
is
seen
good.
a couple of videos on that and I've watched that one.
With all the, like, because obviously, like,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
lights.
the light show,
Yeah, it's really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I reckon it'd probably be something like that.
And then any nicknames apart from Ian Bowen?
Ian Bowen, I
I
love
did have
it.
the Milky Bar Kid, which, you know, wasn't a nice time for me with the glasses and the Stuart Little kid off Stuart Little. Yeah, the Milky Bar Kid, Stuart Little, that was two of my worst ones, probably.
Jarrod Bowen, that was absolutely world class, mate.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much.
No, honestly, mate, we appreciate it. That was a belter. Seriously, an absolute
that was
belter. And that little kid that was on that picture has grown up to be an absolute
Baller.
worldie, a baller of a footballer.
There he is.
And all of us here at the Fozcast wish you all the best
Yep.
for the end of the season, and obviously hoping you get into that England team. And once you're in there, mate, you won't be out of it because you're a proper player, all right?
Thank you.
We always finish every podcast, mate. I'm going to look into that one. I think you're looking into that one, and we say, up the Fozcast.
Up the Fozcast.
Up the Fozcast.
Yeah, well
Brilliant.
done, mate.
Nice one, mate. Brilliant.
You smashed that, mate. Well done.
That was fun, that. Enjoyed that. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We hope you enjoyed the latest episode of the Fozcast. Don't forget to give us a follow on Spotify. Up the Fozcast.